This is a sequence of Qigong style mindful movements done in a standing position. So first of all, arriving in a standing posture, feet about hip width apart and toes facing forwards, and closing the eyes or lowering the gaze, just turning the attention inward, tuning into this body standing here. Just coming to the breath for a moment, arriving, settling. Inviting a sense of standing tall, feeling the length of the legs, up through the hips, the length of the spine, the back of the neck, up to the crown of the head. Upright and tall, yet also with a softness, not standing to attention. Just standing tall, inviting a sense of poise and presence, letting any residual tension drop from the shoulders, maybe even sensing the shoulder blades dropping down the back a little, arms resting softly by your sides. As we begin this practice, trusting the wisdom of your own body and only engaging in the movements insofar as feels right for your own particular body. So adapting the movements or refraining from them if that feels the right course of action for you. And remembering our intention is simply to be with our present moment experiencing. So as best we can, letting go of judging, analysing, writing a commentary, simply being with the bare experience of these sensations in this body. So turning our attention now to the feet, just tuning in to the sensations of contact between the soles of the feet and the floor. Perhaps moving a little, rocking, swaying, just tuning into sensations in the pads of the toes, balls of the feet, the outer edges, the heels, the instep. Very gently now, just moving from side to side, moving your weight from side to side, as though you're pouring the weight from one leg into the other, a little bit like sand through an egg timer. It's pouring to one leg and then gradually into the other leg. Shifting the weight from side to side. And then coming back to centre. Having the eyes closed or the gaze lowered if you're comfy to do so. And now we're just going to very gently soften the knees a little. Bending down very slightly and then raising up again. Bending and then standing tall. Tuning this in time with the breath. Coming up on the in-breath and down on the out-breath. Spending a few moments tuning into your own rhythm, ebb and flow of the breath, and rise and fall of the body. Gentle movements in the knees, gentle bending. in your mind's eye, experimenting with the sense rather of bending the knees than of pushing the floor away. So as you come up, have a sense of pushing the floor down and softening the knees, and then pushing the floor away again. Fully present with these sensations. Move the breath, the knees, other parts of the body. What else is making its presence felt? Perhaps the thighs, hips, ankles. Simply being with this body, gently rising up and down. Up to the top of the wave and down into the trough. Now we're going to invite the hands to join in with this movement. So as we come up, inviting the hands to come up out to the front of us, drippy fingers, hands up to shoulder height. And then as we bend down again, hands going down to the sides, palms first. So coming up, droopy fingers, backs of the hands leading up to shoulder height, turning the hands over so palms lead downwards. Out to the front of the body. Straightening the legs as the drippy fingers come up, and the palms lead down as the knees soften. Up on the in-breath, down on the out-breath. Establishing your own rhythm. This body in gentle movement, rising and falling. Hands and arms coming up, droopy fingers, turning the palms then to lead downwards as the knees soften and bend. Noticing the mind has a tendency to get involved, adding its commentary about this practice, about coordinating the movements and the breath perhaps, analysing, evaluating whether this is pleasant, unpleasant, difficult, easy, how long will it last. As best you can, just letting go, escorting the attention back to physical sensations, awareness of these movements in this body. Now we're going to add in a further movement. So when we come up, we bring the arms up to shoulder height in front of us. To open them out as well, as though we had wings, so they're out to our sides, also at shoulder height. And then on the out breath, and the knee bend, bringing the hands back towards the centre and down again. So up and out, and in towards one another and down to the sides of the legs. Droopy fingers coming up and then out as though we had wings. And those wings coming together in front of the body and down. Perhaps imagining as the hands come together that we're squashing pillows of air together. Droopy fingers up and out, wings, and then pushing together pillows of air and down to the softness of the knees. Noticing which other parts of the body are calling to you. Maybe awareness of sensations in the ankles, the lower back, shoulders. Just being with your own moment by moment experience, this body in movement. Continuing the rhythm of in-breath and out-breath. Gentle bending at the knees. We're going to adjust the arm movement slightly, and when we come up this time, crossing over the palms, the hands in front of the body as we rise up. We get to about the height of the forehead, and then turning the hands over, up towards the ceiling, and out to the side, and down as we bend the knees. So the hands coming down, crossing over in front of the body, rising up as we straighten the legs, up to about forehead height, and then turning the hands over, up towards the ceiling, out to the sides and down. Crossing over, coming up, towards the ceiling, out to the side and down. Establishing your own rhythm, tuning into what your body would like. Perhaps experimenting with the speed of movement and the speed of breathing. Quickening the pace a little, or slowing down. And noticing as ever where the mind goes. Perhaps it's becoming curious about how long this will continue, or what's coming next, or something else from the past or the future in your own day. As best you can with kindness, simply choosing to escort attention back to sensations in this body, engaging in these movements right here and now. In a kindly curiosity to your own experience, moving your own body. And then adding in one further movement, just stepping forwards with one foot so one is in front of the other. And as we come down, leaning forwards over the front foot. And as we go up, hands crossed over, up towards the ceiling and leaning backwards, shifting weight to the back foot. And arms out to the side and down and forwards, perhaps even sweeping close to the floor. Hands crossing over and up as we shift the weight backwards, up towards the ceiling, out to the sides and down. That's experimenting with making the movements as large as can be. All the way to the floor, up towards the ceiling. All the way forwards. And all the way back. Or maybe your body's asking for smaller movements. Just tuning in to what feels right for you. Just another 1 or 2 rounds. And then coming back to stillness, bringing the feet back, hip width apart. Arms resting gently by your sides, coming back to stillness. Just tuning into the felt sense. What's showing up in this body, having engaged in this sequence of movements. Perhaps noticing how coming to stillness, in fact there's still a lot of movement in the body. Breath coming and going. Perhaps a slight swaying in the body. Maybe doing some shoulder rolls at the end of this practice, just bring shoulders up towards the ears and then to the back as though you could touch the shoulder blades together, and down, forwards to the front, moving them in circles. Using the wisdom of your own body to know how far to engage in shoulder rolls or not at all. Big movements or small. Moving forward and backwards and perhaps one shoulder at a time. As best you can, moving fully with this body. Rolling these shoulders, loosening out, limbering up. Maybe shaking the arms a little. Back once more to stillness, arms resting gently by your sides. And as we come towards the end of the practice, just coming back to the breath once more. Aware of in-breath and out-breath. Rise and fall of the chest. Movements in the abdomen. And perhaps inviting a sense of the whole body breathing. Feeling the aliveness of the whole body. Alive and present. Engaged in this sequence of mindful movements.